Hey, I'm Kier, and this is that vlog thing that I'm doing. Still the Christmas season, for another couple of weeks at least. And you know I watch a lot of TV. I've always watched a lot of TV. And in the holiday season, there was always some sort of holiday special on. And I grew up with a whole lot of them. It seems that most of them, though, were produced by Rankin Bass. Mainly because from 1964 up through 2001, they've produced 19 Christmas specials. Not all of them are as well known as some of the other ones are, and honestly, looking at the list, I don't even remember some of these, which means they did not get shown a whole lot. Especially the 2001 one, the last one they made called Santa Baby, narrated by Eartha Kitt. I remember that, but I don't think it's been on a whole lot in the last 14 years. Their most famous one, of course, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from 1964. That's the one that everyone knows, and it really started them on this path of being the go-to place or the go-to shop for Christmas stuff. Because after that, you had Little Drummer Boy come out in 1968, Frosty the Snowman in 69, Santa Claus is Coming to Town in 1970, and they just kept coming out every few years with one or two more Christmas specials. So by the time I was watching TV and able to really remember it, which was, late 70s, early 80s, there were a ton of these Rankin Bass specials, and then there were still more coming out every couple of years until 1985, which was their Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. And then there was that huge break until the 2001 one. And in that time, Rankin Bass changed a whole lot. And the market for Christmas specials also changed a whole lot. But all of these classics, Frosty the Snowman, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, these are all things that I grew up watching. And whenever I think about Christmas, these are the things that come into my mind visually. These animated, stop-motion animated shows with these classic songs. A lot of them classic songs before they were animated shows. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer goes all the way back to 1939. Most famous version, Gene Autry's version, which is what everyone of a certain age hears in their head when you start singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But then a lot of other songs got used in these shows, created for these shows, and made their way into the Christmas canon of an entire generation. So Gen X, if you're in Gen X, you know all of these things if you were in the US and paid any attention at all to television. And it's just such an interesting phenomenon that I don't think we've seen a lot since, with holiday specials, at least. There have been little holiday specials have cropped up here and there that are memorable, some new ones that still get shown. There's, of course, along with all the Rankin Bass ones, there's the Charlie Brown Christmas. There's a few others out there, but these Rankin Bass ones are kind of the big deal ones, the ones that made a huge impact on me and a lot of other people. And even today, they hold up pretty well. As far as quality goes, as far as story goes. They're not deep stories, mind you, but I think a lot of us have a special place in our hearts for all those misfit toys, from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Hermie, the elf that really just wants to be a dentist. It's stuff that really, over the years, I think we've done a lot with in our heads. Even if you haven't watched it in years, you still remember that abominable snowman Bumbles and how he bounces. And you remember Frosty the Snowman coming in and singing and saying happy birthday and marching through the streets with the kids and the broom and everything. And it's just really one of those sets of shows that Rankin Bass did that helped sculpt the view of Christmas for an entire generation. And really also, of course, ended up playing into the whole commercialization of Christmas, the whole mass media end of Christmas. Because, well, the 50s and 60s is when you had TV really coming into its own. In the 60s and 70s is when you already had TV everywhere. So these shows that show up were complete cultural phenomenons because back then you only had 3 networks and these were on them. You know, these were on one of those networks for Christmas every year. And everyone who watched TV saw them. So tell me, what's your favorite Christmas special out of all the Rankin Bass ones? I'll post a list of them down in the description so you can get an idea of how much these guys actually put together. So let me know what your favorite one is and what your favorite part from that one is. I'm still a huge Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer fan. I love the Island of Misfit Toys. I just think it's so fantastic. And the song, Why Am I Such a Misfit, is just absolutely heartbreaking and hopeful at the same time because of the